Hey guys, you're in for a surprising review. I'm going to show you important things so that you know what you're getting yourself into, and I'll share some tips and tricks along the way. The TicWatch Pro 5 Enduro is Mobvoi's latest Wear OS watch with supposedly a great battery life, which we'll test in this video. I have the slate gray, which is the color I recommend. It has a 1.43-inch display with a combination of stainless steel, aluminum, and nylon. And thankfully, it's got a sapphire screen, which means it's highly scratch and impact resistant. The rubber strap isn't very stretchy and soft, but during the past several days that I've been wearing it, I haven't had any discomfort. And actually, when I unboxed this watch, I quickly noticed that it's heavier than the TicWatch Pro 5, but that hasn't bothered me either. In fact, the heavier weight gives it a more premium feel than the previous model. So I definitely like the look and feel of the watch. In fact, it looks and feels way more expensive than it is, which is always a plus. It also features a real working physical rotating crown, which also works as a button in addition to the other button that it has. During the past week, I've been enjoying a very user-friendly and smooth user interface, and as you might know, I always check out the watch faces first thing. After all, it's what we'll be seeing the most, so it's important that the watch offers a good collection of functional and stylish watch faces. In this case, at first glance, it seems that the list of watch faces isn't that extensive, and probably one of the better ones is this Mystic Ridge watch face that I currently have. But what I don't like about it is that you can only change this data field or complication instead of everything visible on the watch face. I also noticed that the HR on this specific watch face only shows what seems to be the average HR and not real-time values because it doesn't change much. So I wish we could have customized more things here. You can still change the colors and stuff like that, which is what I've done. But if I open the Mobvoi app, I can see that actually there are other watch faces that I can get. But first I need to install the Time Show Watch Faces app on my phone, and then on the watch itself, select the Time Show watch face. Now the list is much more extensive with more functional and stylish watch faces, which can be found for free or as premium watch faces, which can be purchased. By the way, this watch is water resistant, so you can shower with it and go for a swim. When you choose a swimming activity, it automatically locks the screen. But at other times, when you're about to expose the watch to water, you can turn on the screen lock from here. And once you're done and you unlock it, you should tap this icon to eject the remaining water from the watch. In addition to swimming, there's a really long list of activities and sports that you can track with this watch. I've done strength training a couple times, treadmill, and also outdoor run. So let's go through those. In this first session, I did strength training and I wore a heart rate chest strap to measure my HR as accurately as possible. My actual max HR was 169 BPM, and this watch reported 142 BPM. But this isn't a showstopper. In fact, I have no problem with this, as literally every single watch I've ever tested has the same issue. And it's really not the fault of the watch, because unless you're doing some leg work without much wrist movement, during strength training, there's a lot of wrist movement, which results in erratic HR measurements. So again, nothing wrong here. Then I ran on the treadmill for a little bit, and the max HR is only a bit different, which is again probably due to the fast arm movement when I run fast. But I'm happy to see that the more important average heart rate is nearly the same. So in this session, the HR accuracy was really good. And here's another session, which is a long 45-minute outdoor run. And take a look at this. Both the average and max HR are spot on. This is fantastic, and I also really like it that I can see my recovery time. It also calculates your VO2 max, but in my case it's a bit low, but that's probably because I've run outdoors with it only once. I suppose the more I do, the more accurate it becomes. The TicWatch Pro 5 Enduro also has a stress management feature that is available as either on-demand or continuous. On the watch, you can see the lowest, highest, and average stress values for the day, a scatter chart, a stress distribution chart, and a weekly chart. There's also the SpO2 or blood oxygen saturation feature that can also be measured on demand or continuously. In fact, if you already have this watch, I'd like to share some related tips with you to make sure you really take advantage of this powerful watch. But before I do that, I'd like to show you a feature that's really unique to this watch. Basically, in addition to the regular AMOLED display, this watch also has a secondary ultra-low power display that looks like this. Now, I know some of you might not like the not so flashy and colorful look of it, but that's the whole point of this display, to conserve battery life. And that's thanks to the Snapdragon W5 Plus CPU that they can do this. But what's it like in practical terms? Do I have to look at it instead of the actual watch face all the time? So by default, when you raise your wrist, it shows the low power display, but you're in total control and you can customize this in the settings. You just need to go to the display menu, then tilt to wake and choose AMOLED instead of backlight. But notice, even if I choose AMOLED or turn it off, the always on display is still that ultra low power mode. But if you go to the always on screen menu, you can also change that to the AMOLED. But if you want to stick with the low power display, you can also change the backlight color, which is cool. But another neat feature on this watch is that this backlight color can dynamically change based on the current HR zone you're in during an activity. So for example, if you're running and you're in zone 5, your watch will turn red. This is great for quickly knowing your HR zone. So yes, this is a great and unique feature to improve the battery life, but the question is, how good is the battery life in reality? They claim a 90-hour battery life in smartwatch mode. I was able to get a little over 76 hours or a little over 3 days, which is still great for a Wear OS watch, but bear in mind that I did some changes to get the most out of this watch. Had I not done those changes, I believe I could have easily achieved that 90 hours of battery life. And that's why I wanted to recommend everyone doing the same thing if you don't mind a bit less battery life. Especially because I exercised 4 times with this watch, and one of them was a 45-minute GPS activity. I consider this battery life to be really good. If you go to the Tic Health app, scroll down and open the settings, then go to continuous monitoring. I'd recommend turning on the real-time monitoring, otherwise it would take HR samples every 10 minutes, which isn't very useful. Then you can turn on the continuous SpO2 monitoring if you want to, and it'd be sufficient to choose just every hour as the sample rate, and definitely turn on continuous stress monitoring. Now, there's also the heart health monitoring, which is something I haven't used that much, but even turning that on would be worth it. Otherwise, you're going to have to do these snapshot tests. There's the one-tap measurement feature that tests everything, including heart health, but in a 24-hour day, a single snapshot may not necessarily find issues that might appear sporadically. So compromising the battery life here is definitely worth it. Now let's dive into sleep tracking, the highlights and the challenges. So this watch not only can track sleeps at night, but it can also track naps during the day. It tracks all stages of sleep, and it also monitors skin temperature during sleep, in addition to the HR, SpO2, and respiration rate tracking. So basically, it's packed with all sorts of sleep tracking features. And again, I've been wearing it for several nights, and maybe I should preface this by saying that usually a source of frustration for me has been the not so accurate sleep tracking with other Wear OS watches. And I'm not even talking about the REM or deep sleep, but I'm talking about the accuracy of the start and end of sleep tracking. So usually with some other watches, when I lay in bed before going to sleep, the watch thinks I'm sleeping, but so far the TicWatch Pro 5 Enduro's start of sleep time has been spot on. I'll admit though that a couple times the end time hasn't been that accurate, meaning if I wake up and stay in bed, it keeps tracking. But actually there's a solution to that problem, and that's a feature called non-tracking time from the sleep settings. So if you always get up around the same time, I'd recommend turning this on and setting the start time to exactly when you wake up. This way, after that time, it won't track your sleep, or in this case, it wouldn't think you're asleep if you just lay in bed after waking up. I'd say I've had a really pleasant experience using this watch, and the features you get not only are not gimmicky, but they actually work. So would I recommend this to a friend of mine who doesn't want to buy a watch that costs an arm and a leg? Absolutely. There are even some other features like the barometer and altimeter that I didn't talk about that make this watch even more worthy at this price. You can even monitor the air pressure continuously, just like other health features, which is so awesome. So if you want to buy it, use the links in the description. I look forward to seeing your comments. Hope you liked it. See you in the next one.